What's up everybody, and welcome back. I may have spoken too soon about the views being back, but we move forward. Today I'm recommending Harten with the English title of Babysitting, but I like Harten more. So it's being made by June, it's 2 chapters, and is a monster action fantasy about Harten, a dual axe wielding absolute beast. And man, I need more of this story ASAP. So it all starts with a mother telling her daughter to hide and not come out under any circumstances before we see some kind of humanoid monster end her as her daughter peeks through the crack of the wardrobe before it breaks it open after smelling the girl trying to get to her too. But Harten shows up right before the monster can grab her and just wrecks it with ease before taking the girl and having her close her eyes and count to 10 as he just mows down more monsters as he escapes from the village with the little girl. When they've gotten to safety, Harten introduces himself to the little girl, who says her name is Arwen, which is a great name. The two travel together and Harten tries to make the best out of the situation for Arwen, not by talking about it, but by making sure she's fed and comfortable. But she still breaks down and dreams of eating with her mother again. They finally arrive at a so far nameless town that clearly has demi-humans in it, so whatever the ones who attacked the village are may be a different kind. I'm not sure yet, but they go straight to the guild where Harten reports the village attack and destruction by more than 50 demi-human bandits, and the one survivor being Arwen. Instead of resting, he immediately makes and takes on the extermination request to go back and kill the rest before he says bye to Arwen, which leaves her in a panic, not wanting him to go, and chases after him, asking if he'll come back, and he promises he will, but the look on his face is either he's done this before, or his true, emotionless, dead inside because of what he's seen personality is coming out. Chapter 2 is much shorter, it feels like a half chapter, and it's just Harten going to pick up his equipment from the blacksmith and a flashback of him manhandling some bull monster to save the blacksmith. So you're gonna see the same images over and over because this series is so new and short so far, but there was no way I wasn't going to talk about this for 2 main reasons. First, because I think it's already looking fantastic, and second, because I need as many people as possible to read it so that the author makes more, because the feels of this manga are already immaculate. The art is great and it looks fantastic with the dark, sad, violent, and lonely feel of the story so far. If you like Goblin Slayer like I do, then you'll definitely like this. I don't know if it was inspired by it, I'm guessing partly, but if you enjoy that gritty feel where a story isn't afraid to be dark, like really dark, then you'll definitely be a fan of this, especially because it sets up a world with so many possibilities, not being limited to just goblins, but also from just not knowing how this world operates. Is there magic? Is there a level type system? Is it a D&D type of world? I have no idea, but I desperately want to find out and hope it has none of that. I honestly hope it's a dark fight for survival type of story where Harten obviously takes Arwen in, at least in some capacity, not in the taking her on adventures kind, but in the always returning home to her kind. And then that relationship being the thing that, let's say, restores his faith in humanity for lack of a better term, or at least gives him a more hopeful outlook in this world. And with the English title being Babysitting, I'm assuming Arwen is going to be a part of the story in some way, unless it turns out to be an extremely dark story where Harten basically just continues saving children and bringing them back to the guild. Because like I said, the look on his face when he promised Arwen that he would be back looks like it was a look of either I've seen too much or he's promised and walked away before. I have no idea which it is because we don't know anything about Harten. All we know is he's really strong, kind, he seems to know how to deal with children who have been rescued from trauma, and he's decently emotionless or just completely reserved from, again, seeing too much. His backstory though is something I can't wait wait to find out. Arwen is a little girl who lost everything in the world. I can't really say more about her character because other than her being traumatized, we haven't seen her personality, but she kind of seems like the hopeful type, so that dichotomy between the two could prove to make a really good story. I'm really hoping this keeps going though, but as a webcomic, there is some trepidation that it can just never be updated again. Unfortunately, that is something that happens, but with the amount of people that have bookmarked it, hopefully it keeps going and the chapter length goes back to the length of chapter 1 being 20 pages, and that chapter 2 is really just a chapter 1.5, seeing as it's really 4 pages with 2 or 3 pages of just plain character panels. So that's my major hope with this and fear moving forward, that it won't be like the length of chapter 1. But if it is, I cannot wait for more of this. But if this seemed interesting to you, please check it out. This is a very exciting action fantasy manga, and those don't seem to come around often. So check it out, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you want more recommendations, check out the Why You Should playlist linked below. Other than that, I'll see all of you in the next one.